Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where it's the biggest time of the year, yet the WWE doesn't know what the hell's going on. But at least KofiMania is running wild, brother. It's lost in the Midcard. Welcome to episode 201. We just came fresh off of our big 200 episode last week, where I subsequently got sick the next day and for a week. I just got back to work today. I'm not quite 100%, but well enough to get a show on the road here. And so we're here to talk Elimination Chamber. We're here to talk Raw and SmackDown afterwards. The Fastlane picture got a little clearer as well tonight. So we'll break all that down. And, of course, being the Elite. And we'll talk a little Double or Nothing and much more. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for enabling us to be on iTunes and Spotify and any of your favorite podcasting apps on the Android platforms. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know anytime a new episode comes your way, typically every Wednesday. And also be on the lookout for any special episodes that may come your way throughout the year. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube, and the links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. Also on our Twitter, on our pinned tweet at LITMC Podcast, where we also share a lot of the great tweets from the wrestling world. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. As always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at RawFShowtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
Better than that crowd on Monday night.
Shit. At least it was better tonight, wasn't it?
No, not only was the crowd better tonight, I appreciate the WWE realizing that they have a pay-per-view in 2 weeks and started giving us some matches, because they sure as fuck didn't on Raw last night. I mean, don't get me wrong, Raw wasn't a bad show unless you count the crowd.
My God, that was
but damn, they totally just Fastlane's in a few weeks, fuck it, we don't care.
Yeah, that was
Look at all these cool NXT guys.
That was like a top 5 worst crowd ever for a show.
I'd easily go top 3.
Oh
maybe.
My God.
It might even be the worst crowd of all time.
Thank God they brought those guys out again tonight in New Orleans. I don't know, were they at the Smoothie King tonight?
Smoothie King Center, yeah, New Orleans.
Where they could get a pop they deserved, because Jesus Christ, last night in Lafayette, that was just ridiculous.
And they weren't popping for anything last night. It wasn't the fact that they just weren't popping for the NXT guys. Bayley and Sasha Banks came out. You might as well heard crickets and a pin drop.
Yeah.
It was just like they were the only things they popped for last night is they chanted for Kofi
and Becky
at the beginning during Triple H's promo, and at the end of the night they chanted for Becky during Ronda's match.
Yeah. And
that was it. And I'm just like, fuck this crowd. Like, seriously. Because I'm watching the action, I'm like, I'm enjoying this, but this crowd is so dead. It's killing my buzz, man.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great Raw, but it was a better.
Actually, I thought it was pretty good.
It was okay for me. I mean, it was better than your average Raw, but that's a low bar. SmackDown.
I enjoyed Raw last night. I think it was a good show that could have been a great show had the crowd actually decided to show up and do something.
Yeah, I don't know. If it wasn't for NXT, it would have been a shit show, I think. But
maybe so.
We'll get into
that.
But
I mean, NXT makes everything better.
That's true. That's true. We got a lot to talk about with that. No Darryl on the show yet. He's got bad internet right now. It's down in his area. He was hoping to have it back by now. That's why I saved watching Being the Elite for myself until after SmackDown to hopefully give a little time. But we still do not have Darryl, but we're going to keep an eye on our DMs here to see when he's got his internet back, and hopefully he can join us mid-show. So we'll shift the order. Granted, the order always changes on the show anyways, but we're going to shift the order a little bit. We're going to start with headlines. Then we'll go into Being the Elite, talk NXT from last week, then get into Elimination Chamber, Raw, and SmackDown, and talk about the subsequent NXT. appearances, what that means, and also talk about the 2 Fastlane matches that were added to the card tonight on SmackDown Live. First, let's talk Double or Nothing. The updated Double or Nothing lineup has been posted. Right now, we're sitting at we're sitting at 3 official matches. 5 are looking very likely though right now. The 2 that we don't have official yet, but are damn likely, are Young Bucks against the Lucha Brothers, obviously from set up from the ticket rally, and then what we saw from last week's being the Elite Britt Baker against Nyla Rose and Kylie Ray. That was on one of the promotional items that Brandy was holding that Cody had gave to her at the house there. And of course, we got Chris Jericho against Kenny Omega, Adam Page against the Bastard Pac, and of course SCU against SEMA. And 2 partners to be announced. So a very good base of a hell of a card to start with over 3 months to go, Matt. And this is a hell of a base, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, they're not playing around, and they're not resting on the fact that their show's sold out.
4 minutes.
4 minutes sellout, man. Like, look, I expected it to sell out day one. There's no way I'd expected it to sell out in 4 minutes.
Yeah, you were saying like throughout the day it would sell out.
Yeah, I just figured, this might be a different animal than All In. Especially the ticket prices are a lot higher than All In.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not outrageous, but the ticket prices are definitely higher than they were at All In. So I figured, the extra cost to travel to Vegas on Memorial Day weekend, the higher ticket prices. Some people had already, had the experience by going All In. I thought, it's going to sell out, but it's probably going to take throughout the course of the day. I expected a day one though.
Mm-hmm.
4 minutes, man. I don't think anybody could have seen 4 minutes coming.
I don't know about you, but in our neck of the woods, no matter what time of year it is, Vegas is always a cheap flight. So maybe Vegas is a cheap flight for a lot of people. I don't know.
Maybe so. I heard the prices for Memorial Day weekend, the flights to Vegas are a lot higher than, any other time of year.
Yeah.
So I just thought that might, be a factor in, some people's hesitance to, to travel and go because, the cost of the holiday weekend and whatnot. But heck, people don't seem to care. Like Cody said, tickets were bought from all 50 states, 9 different countries. This is going to be an international event, man.
And to add on,
people are coming in to enjoy. Look, let's not even count All In because All In was not an All Elite Wrestling show.
Nope.
People want to be a part of history. They want to be they want to be able to say, I was there for the first AEW show.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Honestly, I wish I could have been there. I'm not a big fan of flying nowadays. If it was in driving distance, I guarantee I'd have been there.
Yeah.
But
is Chicago driving distance for you? 8 hours, 10 hours?
It's a trip, but it's doable.
Yeah.
If they would have come back to Chicago, the rumor is they're going to be in Chicago in September for All Out.
Yeah.
Back at the Sears Center. That's the rumor anyway. And if they do that, I promise you, Lost in the Midcard will be at All Out.
Mm-hmm.
You, Darryl, we're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
We're going to go.
Definitely.
We're going to be there live. We'll record a post-show in the fucking hotel room.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to happen. I'm telling all the listeners right now.
Oh, yeah, I'll bring
if All Out is legit and it happens, we're going. We're going in September.
I'll bring the laptop. I'll bring a mic, and it may not be as fancy quality as we're used to, but we'll have a podcast on the road for the first time ever. We thought about doing one in Dallas, but we were so damn busy.
Just logistic wise, it didn't work out.
And on top of that, I think I did everything under the sun in my first WrestleMania.
You might have.
I did everything but the Hall of Fame, but I did ROH with you, and then I did JR's one-man show, so I did a lot of extra stuff on top of TakeOver and Mania and Raw, but I did everything, including Access, which was that was a regret, kind of, but oh well.
Hey, you live and learn on trips like that. You never know what to expect, honestly, until you go in there for the first time.
Yeah.
And truly experience what it's all about. You can talk to people, you can try to plan, you can try to make it all work, but once you get there, everything, like your first time, like everything gets thrown out the window.
Well,
and all it is really it's learning experiences for when you go back.
Well, I got some funny stories. Like I went down the wrong corridor. I went down a lane I shouldn't have to get a picture of Sting. Ended up crossing paths with Rock's mom at the same time, and it wasn't until I walked out of that corridor that security goes, "You're not supposed to be there." Well, thanks. I just walked out of there. So,
my bad, pal.
Yeah, I just walked down that way. Apparently, that was a walkway for WWE talent, and I was walking that way to get a picture of Sting. So yeah, I was getting pictures of people, just wasn't meeting them. The only people I met were Darren Young and Zack Ryder. Well, at least I met Zack Ryder before he won the IC belt. So then I got to watch him lose it the next day. But I was sitting in line for an hour and a half for Paul Heyman. Yeah, that's what happens, though. To piggyback on what Matt said about the tickets, Cody Rhodes also tweeted that it is the first same-day sellout for a pro wrestling event in Vegas ever. And Cody thanks the fans for going all in on the stream. As tickets were purchased from all 50 states, including Puerto Rico and D.C., 9 countries, including Canada, the UK, Mexico, Australia, Costa Rica, Finland, Germany, Panama, and Austria are going to be going to Double or Nothing on May 25th. Chris Jericho tweeted, "You're welcome," which got a response from The Rock. "God, I love when you cut babyface promos. Great shit, Mongoose. Congrats on the sellout." So even The Rock is giving AEW some props. Could you imagine The Rock making an appearance in AEW one day?
I don't see that ever happening, but the wrestling's a crazy world right now, man. I guess you never know.
I'm just saying an appearance. I'm not saying a match.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That was kind of a funny tweet he had for Jericho, though.
I do find it funny that Jericho basically just went the Bully Ray route.
Oh yeah,
because Bully took the full
takes credit,
the full credit for selling out the Garden.
Yep.
Jericho pretty much just did the Bully Ray promo 101 for the AEW sellout. So
big WWE news of the week was the first official inductees into the Hall of Fame. We had reported it a couple of weeks earlier that the Hart Foundation were set to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, but the first official nominees, which were first reported by ESPN, is actually going to be Degeneration X.
And this makes more sense from a headliner perspective than the Hart Foundation. No offense.
And the big news here is it's not just Triple H, it's not just Shawn Michaels, it's also X-Pac, Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, and of course Chyna. And to those people bitching that Chyna's not getting in on her own, get over it. She's getting into the Hall of Fame.
So ridiculous. And honestly, that's just people looking for shit to complain about.
Yeah.
As long as you get in, you get in. No matter if you're in there as a part of a group or not.
Hey, I say Rick Rude should be in there. He was only in there 3 months, but he was an integral part of DX.
I really don't think he was. I really don't think.
I'm kidding.
I don't think Rick Rude was an integral part of DX, but he's already in the Hall of Fame.
He was an integral part of. No, he was an integral part of pro wrestling because he was in 3 promotions within the same month.
Yeah, but he's already in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
They put him in a few years ago.
So DX, those 6 members will be inducted, and that's typically what they do is announce the headliner first, right, Matt?
Normally, yeah, that's normally their rule of thumb.
Of course, DX started back in the late 90s, originally with Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Chyna. Pushing those boundaries. After Michaels injured his back after grazing the casket at the 1998 Royal Rumble, that opened the door to add X-Pac and the New Age Outlaws into the mix as well. And then, of course, DX made a return back in, I don't have it in front of me, but when was that? Spirit Squad return, when they feuded with the Spirit Squad. That seems like forever ago, but that's hard to remember when that was. About maybe 2012. Does that sound about right, Matt?
I would think more like 0809.
Okay. Which
I could be wrong.
Which had some of its great moments in its own. The McMahon imitations, dropping a pile of shit on the McMahons in the Spirit Squad, taking the axle off of McMahon's limo. There was some great moments on the reuniting as well. But very, very cool though, Matt, to see not only Chyna get in, but guys like X-Pac. Hey, and your first AEW representative getting into the Hall of Fame. How about that?
Yeah, that's definitely a talking point for sure.
You know the marks are going to be chanting AEW when Billy takes the mic.
I really hope not.
You know there's going to be marks in the crowd. You know there's idiots in the crowd at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know, and it irks me because there's a time and a place.
Yep. For
the chants of stuff like that, and it's not at the Hall of Fame. It's really not.
But how cool is it for and honestly, it's probably the only way Triple H is ever getting inducted, because I don't think he'll ever want to get inducted by himself.
You're funny.
You don't think so?
That motherfucker going in 3 times.
You think so?
He's going in with DX, he's going in with Evolution, and he's going in by himself. Triple H going to be the first time 3-time Hall of Famer.
You think so?
I guarantee it. Triple H, 3-time Hall of Famer. It's in the name.
I figured it'd be like Vince and.
I think Triple H goes in 3 times. I think this is the first of many for the game.
Okay. I figured he'd be like Vince and not want to, but okay. I'm fine with it. He does all 3.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he goes in 3 times.
All 3 are deserving.
I mean, keep in mind, DX was scheduled to go in WrestleMania 29 weekend before they secured Bruno for the Garden. Then they backed out and said we can go back and do this later.
Yeah, well, and who secured Bruno?
Triple H secured Bruno.
Exactly.
So I'm just saying, like, the DX for the Hall of Fame headline has been planned for many years now, and I still heard that they were thinking about doing Taker this year, and maybe Taker doing the Starcast was like, you know what, we got to go to our reserve. Remember that DX thing we were going to do last time we were in New York, New Jersey? We're doing it now.
Can we get everybody on the horn? Billy? Well, Billy's working for them now, huh? Well, okay, we can. Okay.
It don't matter. Ric Flair was at the Hall of Fame when he worked for TNA.
It's true.
You know, and it's not like Billy Gunn's working as a wrestler, from what we know. You know, he's like a producer's agent. You know, whatever. Like I don't expect Billy Gunn to be a full-time performer in all of wrestling.
I'm just making fun of the fact of how Vince is afraid of them already. Turn that shirt inside out.
Very insecure.
Triple H spoke with ESPN in regards to this and goes, I think it's most meaningful for us to all go in together and be recognized together. I think both groups were just as impactful as he's talking about the first iteration and then after Michaels had left wrestling for a while. On Chyna's inclusion in the Hall of Fame, Triple H said, look, people believe what they want to believe. When I said a few years ago on the Austin podcast, there are complexities around it, but absolutely she deserves to be in there. It's tough to pick a female that was more impactful in the business. She did something that was completely out of left field, and it wasn't even being considered when we first brought her in. It wasn't even a consideration. It wasn't an easy thing, and then against all odds, she did all of that. She earned everybody's trust and won over the fans. She won over the boys. She did all of that from a standpoint. Absolutely 100% deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and should probably be in more than once as a group, but individually as well. There's more complexity than that meets the eye, but here we are. I'm happy that it's here. I'm happy for her family, the people that she was close to, and that hopefully this is super meaningful to them. I know it would be to her. It's a great thing, very deserving. On the importance of DX to his own career, Triple H said, "For me, it was the break of a lifetime, right? My career was on the upswing, and then it had a downswing due to a lot of different reasons."
Curtain call.
Curtain call. we both had the same throat clear there. That was
going around.
That was an opportunity for me to get back on the right path, get out there, and show what I could do. Being next to Shawn, the experience was great to be around that level of performer, from Taker to Bret Hart to everybody else. The learning experience was massive. Yeah, that was quite the downswing. Oops. Kofi Kingston spoke after what was... We could not have fathomed, Matt, before we'll break down the chamber later, but we could not have fathomed Kofi topping SmackDown at the chamber, but he did, didn't he? I mean...
Part of me loves this whole KofiMania thing, but part of me really, really hates it.
Because you feel like you're going to get let down in the end?
No, here's what I hate. There's a saying that Vince McMahon has said.
Oh, yeah.
For years.
What we talked in the DMs.
I can get anybody hot anytime that I want. And we're always like, no, bullshit. Once somebody's buried and down and out and, treated in a certain spot, you can't get somebody hot again anytime you want. 2 weeks ago. We're only talking 2 weeks, JB. If I'd have told you 2 weeks ago that Kofi Kingston,
because this just started 7 days ago, by the way.
Yeah, I was saying, if I told you 2 weeks ago that Kofi Kingston was facing Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at Fastlane, what would you have said to me?
Well, Fastlane, now that's a throwaway pay-per-view.
Would you have even believed me, though?
Yeah, I would have been like, okay, well, they're throwing that one away.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I think would even have questioned my sanity 2 weeks ago that this match would even be taking place, let alone the fans clamoring and demanding for it.
And now people, now people want it for Mania.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting that. No, I think they just need to be happy they're getting what they're getting now.
Which is funny because that was what I was asking for on the podcast last week. I was like, at least give me him one-on-one in a title match. It's so funny. I'm getting what I asked for, and I should have asked for more because he should be world champion now that we realize what we've got. But it was so funny. It was like I was after seeing that performance in the Gauntlet match. I said it on episode 200 last week. I go, just give him what's it gonna hurt to give him a title match at Fastlane? And well, look, he's got one, and now everybody wants him to go to Mania. Meltzer's saying it's not going to happen, but shit, stranger things have happened. You never know. You never know.
Shit's changing in WWE by the day right now.
Well, shit. Didn't you tell us the NXT thing was last minute decision?
This was well, if it was not a last minute decision, nobody knew about it. Like, there were people at both NXT and on the main roster when those guys showed up on Monday that were complete and utter shocked that these guys were there. Like, there was no talk of this backstage at the Elimination Chamber on Sunday, and a lot of people were asking questions on Monday when these guys showed up. And there were a lot of people down in NXT, who clearly are still down in NXT, had no idea that this was going to happen. So, if this was a plan for any given period of time, the inner circle that knew about it was so freaking small that it surprised everybody when it took place. Yeah. So I really think WWE is just flying by the seat of their pants right now. I have a couple theories about what's going on with this NXT quote-unquote takeover right now. But we will discuss that when the time comes later on in the show.
Yeah, I have a theory too that I sent you from Fightful, which was interesting. Kofi took to Twitter after Elimination Chamber. I just wanted to say thanks to everyone for all the love and good vibes over the past week. Your support has been just overwhelming. Tonight didn't go our way, but I believe we are one step closer. Jimmy Uso was arrested in Detroit, Michigan 5 days ago when his wife, Naomi, was driving the wrong way on a one-way street. According to sources, Naomi reeked of booze and was ordered out of the car. Jimmy got out of the car, but despite being told by the officers not to get out of the car, took off his jacket and acted like he wanted to fight. He eventually calmed down and listened to police officers who stopped the car. Uso was still arrested for disorderly conduct and obstruction of justice, eventually bonded out. Apparently that didn't matter because they won the tag titles on Sunday. So, and WWE issued a statement shortly after that to PWInsider.com. Jonathan Fatu is responsible for his own personal actions. But yet they still won the titles, Matt. Okay. But yet, which female tag team was in the Elimination Chamber the least and the first to get eliminated?
You know
who. Yep. Wrong way Naomi and Homewrecker Carmella.
Badunch.
I don't have an article on this, but yeah, Homewrecker Carmella. Let's talk about that one real quick. Corey Graves' wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, as divorce papers apparently have been filed. Apparently they've been separated for the past 6 months, and she has insinuated that Corey Graves cheated on her with Carmella. Pro Wrestling Sheet released an article today stating that the relationship didn't start until Graves and his wife had separated. However, there have been accounts that going all the way back to Royal Rumble 2018, and I believe that was in Philadelphia, where Carmella left Bayley at the bar to go to Corey Graves' hotel room and then did the walk of shame in the morning.
Yeah, when situations like this arise, what people need to keep in mind is that there's two sides of every story, and the truth lies somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
We're never going to really know the full truth, from both of these things. It's a he said, she said. It's a very ugly situation. I think it's just downright, disgusting. Lots of respect for Corey Graves lost.
Were you a little creeped out when he mentioned Corey mentioned his children watching Sasha and Bayley winning the tag titles? Like, I was a little creeped out there. Like, really, Corey?
I don't even think I caught the line.
Oh, he was like my children are at home watching these women achieve their dream on TV. I'm like, oh, Corey. He said that at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I don't think I caught that one. Kind of glad I didn't.
Yeah. There was a couple of comments that kind of went, oh, Corey.
Well, there's a couple good shots Renee got in him on Sunday that I appreciated. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a situation that I really don't like at all.
I guess she did, and then I guess Corey sent her a text which she posted saying that WWE is going to sue her, but she did take down the Instagram post, didn't she?
Her Instagram's gone.
Oh, her Instagram's gone.
Yeah, okay. and she shut her Instagram down. It's completely gone. At least last time I looked, it was gone anyway. So.
But yeah, she posted a Twitter conversation that occurred after she posted what she said about Carmella, which was someone her girls looked up to, which is even more crazy. But yeah, a lot of respect lost for Corey Graves, and it just seems like fame has turned him into an asshole.
Sad.
Me and you had this conversation after this broke, where we're so genuinely happy for the guy who can't wrestle anymore, who now gets a job at NXT, and he's good at his job, and now he's got this fame, and look what he's becoming a twat on social media, and look what he's doing now, and it's like, Jesus Christ, dude.
It's a real shame. It really is. It's sad to see what money and fame can do to to certain individuals, but I guess it's part of life. Some people can handle it, some people can't. Look at Antonio Brown and what he's turned into over the past 2 to 3 years. This wasn't the same guy that came out of college. Money and fame changed that dude.
That
and it's a real fucking shame to see that happen
that guy's a
to people that
weirdo now.
genuinely seem like good people, and then they, money and fame send them off the deep end.
He almost seemed like the sure bet best player in the game, and now he's just like a weirdo. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I personally, I'm not much of the NFL anymore. I'm definitely more of an AAF fan. But
hey, props to that NHL
as
owner for bailing.
As a Steelers fan, I don't want him on my team.
Well, did you hear the story about he met with the Rooneys and they've agreed it's time to go? At least they met and have closed that door. So now I think they've agreed. Yeah, it's time to part ways. So they met recently this week. But
I didn't hear that. Like I'm really not. I'm doing my best not to follow any of that stuff because I'm really done. I'm really done with the NFL.
Speaking of AAF, they kind of went a little impacted. Almost didn't make payroll, and thankfully one NHL owner's investment kind of bailed them out. So that's helpful.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. I'm actually going to be a guest on an AAF podcast tomorrow night, and we'll be discussing that in the weekend of games and whatnot. So, yeah, if you guys are interested in football and you like the AAF, you can hear me later on this week on that podcast. We'll make sure we'll send a retweet out of on Lost in the Midcard, so you know where to find it if you wanna give it a listen. If you don't, it's all good. I know you're here for the wrestling, and that's what we're here for too. But sometimes we derail and get off track a little bit, if you will.
We have our sports breaks every once in a while. Yeah, I have yet to watch any AAF. I was busy the opening weekend. I had shit going on, and then sick last weekend. So, yeah,
there were 2 really good games this weekend.
So maybe this weekend I'll be able to sit down, and I wonder if it's on Hulu. If it's like, well, no, it's CBS, so maybe it's probably not on Hulu.
So they are on CBS Sports Network, TNT, and the NFL Network have been the stations that have been airing it. You can also watch it on AAF.com. The only problem is there's no commentary, and it's from a different camera angle. So you can still watch the entire game as it happens, but you don't get any commentary, and it's not in the same television angles that you're used to seeing. So that kind of makes it weird.
I'll have to check. I'll have to check NFL Network and see if a replay is on and put her on the DVR. As Matt mentioned earlier in the show, Undertaker is appearing at the next StarCast, which is over Memorial Day weekend with Double or Nothing. Conrad Thompson goes, I know people might assume this is an AEW event, but it's not true. As Thompson told Sports Illustrated, we have wrestlers appearing from every promotion all over the world. StarCast isn't just for all elite wrestling fans, it's for all wrestling fans. Undertaker is synonymous with wrestling in generations of wrestling fans who have grown up with The Undertaker. We wanted to bring something unique to Las Vegas, and there isn't anyone more special in this business than The Undertaker. What kind of a get is that for Conrad, Matt?
It's a huge get. It's the fucking Undertaker.
That's how. That's crazy.
The dude's an icon. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. First ballot Hall of Famer. One of the biggest legends in this industry. If you were to create a WWE only Mount Rushmore, how could you not put the Undertaker on there? Mm-hmm. He's that important, and the fact that he's going to be in Las Vegas the weekend of Double or Nothing is just, it's mind-blowing. Mm-hmm. Like I've been 2019 for pro wrestling, it's fucking crazy. It's really crazy.
I mean fucking, you gotta love.
You can't even formulate the words of how crazy this is.
You gotta love Cody, the Bucks, and Kenny for what they're doing for pro wrestling this year, man. Sinclair Broadcast Group, which they own Ring of Honor, right?
Correct.
I just want to make sure I had the right title out there. Sinclair and the Chicago Cubs have announced a joint venture. They will launch the Marquee Sports Network starting in the 2020 baseball season. It'll feature Cubs content, exclusive Cubs content, and also other local sports programming. In addition to the joint venture agreement, the Cubs have simultaneously entered into long-term rights agreements with Marquee. Do you think this also kind of do you think this is also a possible outlet for Ring of Honor, Matt? This Marquee Sports Network?
Well, of course it is.
Okay.
I mean, they've been trying to get something like this off and running off the ground for at least the last 2 years now.
Well, they did that tennis network. That thing never really took off. So.
Well, yeah, that thing never took off, and then they planned that they were going to buy WGN, and that thing fell through, and now they're finally getting this. So yeah, there's a definite possibility this could lead to bigger things for Ring of Honor. The only problem is, it's like I'm sorry, Ring of Honor's roster 2019 right now. I'm really not that hyped for it. It's just kind of there. They've lost a ton of my favorite guys. They're going to lose Marty in a few months. They signed a whole bunch of new guys, and instead of establishing them as single stars, they threw them together in a fucking stable. Which
made no sense.
Which is ridiculous, and it's lazy booking at its finest.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor has done nothing but disappoint me in 2019, and I really don't expect a new television deal with a network from Sinclair to make it any better for me.
Yeah. But I did give them some money one last time while I still had Honor Club. I bought 2 mystery $5 retired shirts, so maybe I'll get some Elite merch or something.
Yeah, they're probably looking to get rid of all that. You might.
Yeah, it was a $5, it was $8 shipping, so I bought 2 shirts to make it worthwhile. And so it cost like $18 for 2 shirts. It's 2 mystery shirts. I always like getting mystery shirts. I'm usually not disappointed in mystery shirts. I got a cool Macho Man one from Pro Wrestling Tees, and I got some from the WWE, and they got me a duplicate Dean Ambrose one that I already had. And I'm like, hey, he's my guy. I'll take a duplicate Dean Ambrose shirt. Sure.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
I haven't seen the WWE do that in quite a while though. They used to do the 5 for $25 or like mystery bag or whatever, and I haven't seen that in ages.
No, I think they figure out they make enough money at they make enough money by doing the buy one get one for $1 sales.
Yeah.
So they're like, why go any cheaper when people go ham when we put this deal out there? So yeah. I think that has a lot to do with it.
Speaking of Ring of Honor and speaking of the new faces, 2 of those new faces are going to face off at the 17th anniversary on Friday, March 15th. Roosh and Bandito. Douche Roosh and Bandito will be facing each other at that'll be a good match at least at 17th anniversary.
Very disappointed Bandito chose to go to Ring of Honor over All Elite.
I was surprised.
Very, very disappointed.
Especially after he was at All In. Yeah.
When they put him in the main event.
Yeah.
I wonder
what's going through his mind there.
Yeah, I don't know. Was not a fan of that decision, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. You think that was the better move for you? We'll see how it works out long term, but yeah, I'm really not feeling Ring of Honor 2019 right now. When that company is everything that they've been based upon, and they're pushing fucking PCO, it's just like I can't even tolerate that company right now.
Paige confirmed on Twitter she will not be on the 9th season of Total Divas.
Yeah, neither were the Bellas.
And a couple of new collections are coming your way next month on the WWE Network. One will be the Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, and Trish Stratus, Stay Stratified. If you are in the Atlantic City area on Friday, March 1st, at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, you for $79 you can meet a couple of legends as Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan will be reunited on stage, and the tickets there'll be a special Q&A, and it'll be a special discussion moderated by the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, It's going to be titled Legends of the Ring. Tickets on sale for $79. Not sure if that includes a meet and greet. Let's see if I can get some details on their website. You know what? That just takes me to the Hard Rock Hotel site, and that's going to take forever to find, so we'll let you guys go for that.
Fuck it.
Variety is reporting that John Cena will host a revival of the Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader television game show for Nickelodeon. There's no start date for the series. The original show aired on Fox, hosted by Jeff Foxworthy, and was highly successful. The article stated that it's part of a strategy designed to lure children back to the cable network. I didn't realize that children were going away from Nickelodeon.
Man, news to me. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, anyways. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader was a pretty funny show, though. Especially when the
I question if John Cena is smarter than a fifth grader.
Ooh.
Just saying.
Just
saying.
Some weird news, some crazy news. The Houston Chronicle is reporting that there's a civil trial underway that is involving former WWE star and Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion Brooke Adams and her fiance. They're suing their former landlord for wrongful eviction after they received several eviction notices over their emotional support dog they had brought into their home. Adams testified that they brought the dog into their home to help fight depression. The couple had already paid a pet deposit for one dog, but when Chin discovered on an Instagram post that they're holding an emotional support dog, he issued the eviction notice. And after they moved out, they received an invoice for $14,000 in lost rent, damages, and attorney fees. So that led to this rather strange court case.
Ridiculous.
Let's get Judge Judy on that one. Bray Wyatt says he is very close to returning to the ring. He is hoping to be cleared medically by WWE doctors very soon, so stay tuned. There is an online pre-sale for the G1 in New York with ROH and New Japan Pro Wrestling. If you go to Ticketmaster.com, use the code PREMSG. That'll be the pre-sale code for the G1 Supercard. WWE Network News is reporting that a classic show is coming to the network, and we can confirm it already has. This past Monday, February 18th, WWE Confidential, which was hosted by the late great Mean Gene Okerlund, a 2-year news magazine style show, which attempted to pull back the curtain on controversial topics and give an inside look into the favorite superstars of the WWE. 34 of the episodes have been officially added to the WWE Network. The series originally debuted in 2002 and ran until April of 2004. There was a total of 83 episodes, so there should be more coming down the line. Matt, did you ever watch this show? I remember it, but I don't think I ever watched it.
I'm trying to remember.
Was it a .com thing?
I don't think so. Huh. Does it have any description?
Oh, it was on Spike.
It was hosted by
Mean Gene.
Yeah, I feel like I watched that. I feel like I did.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not 100% certain, but I feel like I did watch that. Yeah. And it's cool. That's cool. That's coming to the network. You know, honestly, the more stuff WWE can pile on the network, I think the better it is. You can keep people the value for their money.
It's already there, so.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad that it's coming or adding on the network. You know what I mean?
Came yesterday, so
that's
there.
Cool.
It's there, brother.
Yes, stack it up, man. Put that shit on the network.
For $750,
I'm out.
You can go to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. It's called The Blacklist. You get a VIP suite in the Barclays, visits from NXT superstars during the show, photo opportunities with NXT superstars, a group photo on the entrance ramp, VIP access to the merchandise store, before the doors open, and a collectible VIP poster.
You know what? For $750, that's not bad.
Especially when like superstars are coming up to your suite throughout the show. That's kind of cool.
Honestly, if I had a couple friends who were willing to do that with me, I'd actually do that. That's not a bad deal at all.
Plus, you get to stand on the entrance ramp, and
that's a really cool package of stuff.
All the photos will be emailed to you. They'll be taken professionally by the WWE, and they'll be emailed to you. So, yeah, not bad. If you do want to go to that, it's NXTtickets.com. The Revival posted on Twitter last week some old tag team champion belts. Do you think they're teasing a return to some old belts?
I certainly wouldn't mind. You know how I feel about the current tag titles.
Well, yeah. What do you feel about them losing to DIY too on Monday? That was interesting.
I don't have a problem with it at all. And honestly, you know, if you didn't want them to lose, you don't book the match. It's just that simple.
And it may lead to more, so I'm fine with that too. Considering it was one of the matches of the year a couple years ago. We're now getting to the point where people are getting released from Impact Wrestling that I don't even remember being in Impact Wrestling, because that shows how long it's been since I've watched Impact Wrestling. Joe Hendry is now no longer with Impact Wrestling.
Good.
That's
an improvement.
I'm like, who?
He's fucking terrible.
Mike Johnson, PW Insider, has announced that WWE has come to terms with Major League Wrestling and acquired the trademark for War Games.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Yeah.
Especially since they've been using it in the War Games term for 2 years in a row. You know, I found that to be fascinating.
I guess Court wanted to be an asshole about it.
I'm here. They got a pretty penny.
I'm sure. And they can flip that around and put it back into the company, you know? So
yep.
I'm guessing Court wasn't an asshole about it and goes, "Hey Vince, you want this?" Oh,
I don't think he reached out. I think they reached out to him.
Oh, I'm sure.
So,
you know, I love trademarks, pal.
You're joking, but that's pretty accurate.
Now, there's another trademark story. Why don't we just do them back to back? Here it is. WWE has also filed a trademark for face paint. Ultimate Warrior's face paint design has been trademarked,
which I find interesting that his wife wouldn't own that trademark.
Yeah, I know.
That's really weird to me.
The face paint design was trademarked on February 11th. It's good for goods and services such as toys, namely action figures, accessories, therefore dolls, cases of action figures, toy wrestling rings, play sets, etc., because there's a lot of shit that falls under.
Yeah, a ton of shit.
Novelty face masks, Christmas tree decorations, party favors. Jesus, you gotta cover it all in the old trademarks. The Royal Rumble 2020 location has been announced, and it's at the site of where Elimination Chamber was in 2019, Houston, Texas. They are apparently continuing the trend, the new trend of baseball stadiums. They're going to have it at Minute Maid Park, which I thought having it at Chase Field was cool. I don't know how.
Yeah, it's neat. I'm not a big fan of the dugout entrance, but other than that, I liked the look of the stadium and the overall feel of the show. So
I couldn't see the ring well, unfortunately. I haven't watched it on TV yet. One of these days I want to put that in and watch it on TV. But I was excited. I liked the dugout entrance, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have to watch it on the TV.
No, and we were sitting.
You know,
right
I'm sure it looked better. You know, there at the show.
Well, I was behind the dugout.
Personally, I was not a fan of it.
We talked about the scary injury for Phoenix last week, but despite the injury, Phoenix has worked the Impact tapings on the 15th of February. So apparently Phoenix...
He worked all 3 nights, that crazy motherfucker.
So apparently Phoenix is A-okay, or he's really tempting fate. NXT superstar Matt Riddle recently had an interview with TMZ Sports, and he thinks NXT can eclipse Raw and SmackDown. I like that kind of thinking, bro. I like Matt. Matt Riddle he's got a rocket getting ready to strap up his ass, I think, man. I almost think
especially if those 4 call-ups end up being permanent.
Yeah, we got so much to talk about with that too. But I mean, dude had one match and then he had a takeover match. I mean, if that says something to you about the rocket already being strapped. Excuse me as I take a sip of scotch here. Oh, here's a chuckle for you. The U.S. District Court of Nevada has dismissed the UFC fighter Mark Hunt's lawsuit against Brock Lesnar and Dana White. Mark Hunt lost to Brock Lesnar at UFC 200, and it was later revealed that Lesnar failed drug tests. He had filed a $2.5 million lawsuit in January of 2017. And, well, Mark, nice try, huh?
I'm afraid I have some bad news.
For those who have asked, according to Mike Johnson at PW Insider, The Undertaker has the ability to taking outside appearances, signing appearances now, which is why he's doing the StarCast event as well as appearances for UK's Inside the Ropes. He knows he can command top dollar for the appearances, and he's right. And he will likely be adding additional appearances in line. Still associated with the WWE, has not left the company, but if I read the figures right, was like an hour of $50,000 for an hour. Was that about right?
I heard the exact figure the other day, and I was going to write it down, and I forgot to. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous amount.
I think it's around $50,000.
I thought it was $25,000.
Maybe
for an hour.
Maybe it's 25. Okay.
I thought it was $25,000 for an hour, but I could be wrong. Like I said, I didn't write the information down when I should have when I heard it. But I for some reason, I'm thinking it was around $25,000 for an hour.
Alpha Group and WWE are partnering on larger-than-life inflatable toys. You could own yourself your own inflatable Triple H sledgehammer to smack your little brother with. Smack your little brother with it.
Bow down.
Standard retail price $9.99, so I bet that'll take a few whacks before that pops. Some former WWE talent was spotted at Impact tapings a few nights ago. Former developmental talent Judas Devlin, who is known as Luchasaurus, was at the Impact tapings and was told he has impressed several within the company at Impact. Also former WWE talent Natalie Osman, known as Buggy Nova. I'm not even familiar with that name, Matt. You?
It vaguely rings a bell.
She worked as an undead bride last night in a 6-woman tag bout, teaming with Sue Young and Dark Alley. Former Sanity member Sawyer Fulton was also backstage. And I heard Disco Inferno worked the tapings. Why?
He jobbed a Scarlet Bordeaux.
Why?
Because it's Impact.
Could
I really give you a better explanation than that?
No, that you hit it right on the head there, buddy. You watched the Mark Henry documentary after Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was good.
Man, that was tremendous. That dude's heart is as big as the weights he lifts, isn't it?
Probably.
Definitely worth going out of your way to seeing that. And is there something that you didn't know that kind of surprised you in that documentary?
Not that I can think of, no.
For me, it was who helped him the most in his career. Because The Rock really wasn't at the top of the food chain yet, but yet he was still the guy that kind of helped him the most. That kind of surprised me a little bit, which was cool, though. But it just shows the type of guy that The Rock became, obviously, being one of probably the best sports entertainer of all time. But I was kind of surprised at that. But it's truly a tremendous story. Well worth watching. Obviously, well worth watching. They decided to do an encore after Monday Night Raw. So go check that out. May 11th is the next night that Jake Hager, a.k.a. Jack Swagger, will be fighting for Bellator. It'll be happening at the Allstate Arena in Chicago. So if you are a fan of Mr. Hager, who did tremendous in his first match with Bellator, what avenues does Bellator air on nowadays, Matt?
The Paramount Network, formerly Spike TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, he looked pretty good in his first fight, didn't he?
Yeah, and very impressive.
Good news for Paige's movie, Fighting With My Family. It was on 4 screens, 2 in New York, 2 in LA, and did tremendously well over those the time that was in those screens. It came out to be about $32,000 per screen. The overall total is expected to grow at $163,000 on just 4 screens, which is what is called solid numbers. So it sounds like Fighting With My Family is set to do very well as it goes to worldwide release on this Friday.
I will actually be seeing it in theaters this weekend.
I don't know if I will this weekend. Not sure when I will, but hopefully soon.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to like to get out there and check that out.
It kind of looks like it's kind of pulling back the curtain on WWE, like what The Wrestler did for the Indies. Kind of seems.
Hey, that's cool to me, man.
That's the vibe I'm getting as I'm watching all the behind the scenes or all the kind of in-depth videos of this movie. That's kind of the feel I'm getting, is it's pulling back the curtain on the WWE like The Wrestler did for the Indies, how that pulled back that curtain.
I'm here for it.
Well, Rusev and Lana no longer on Total Divas, but that's okay. They're on YouTube now. They have launched their own YouTube channel. And
this YouTube channel's been around for a while. They've just now started
promoting it,
like actively using it. This channel's been around for a while, because when I went and checked it out, I was already subscribed to it.
One of the first videos.
This channel's been there for a minute. They're just now deciding, like, hey, let's try to invest in ourselves, like all the other smart wrestlers on the planet are doing right now.
One of the first videos is called "Bitch, I'm Salty."
I watched that. Yes.
So they have their own tour bus. It looks like, huh?
But why the fuck not? If you can afford it, get a damn tour bus, man.
Better than cramping in an airplane all.
Yeah, no shit.
Former WWE Ring of Honor and Lucha Underground star Paul London has started working as a producer for Impact Wrestling starting this weekend, and word is off the street that he did a great job in the role, and the company hopes to use him again when possible. As for Sawyer Fulton, he did debut on the tapings. He'll be used as a heel working for the company.
And the crowd goes mild.
You weren't a fan, huh?
Who cares? I'm not trying to be mean, but and they're still picking up the lowest of the low WWE releases that no one cared about. You're still doing business the wrong way. Impact. He had
a raw deal with his injury though, when Sanity was starting. But of course, Sanity's getting a raw deal as overall anyway. So this was interesting. We found out on Raw last night. Sasha Banks and Bayley cutting a promo celebrating their win at Elimination Chamber. They are going to defend their titles not only on Raw, not only on SmackDown, but on NXT as well, Matt, and that excites me.
Love it.
That excites me, dude. That fucking excites me. Love it. Good shit. For all you slingers out there, there's a channel on Sling called Stadium 24/7, and it has been added to Sling's basic blue and orange packages, and that it airs Ring of Honor. So now Ring of Honor is available on the basic Sling packages because, well, it's got to get everywhere it can now. Drake Maverick had a big announcement on 205 Live tonight regarding WrestleMania and the Cruiserweight division. That announcement was a single elimination tournament to crown the number one contender for Buddy Murphy at WrestleMania. Matt, you had 205 Live on as we were recording. Did they release a bracket?
I did not see the bracket, but I do know that it's an 8-man tournament. But at no point did I see a bracket on during it.
Let me go to 205 Live real quick here. Here we go. We got Spanky and Gulak, Kalisto and Nice.
Cedric fought Bennett tonight. Kanellis, sorry.
And Cedric won, right?
Yeah, Cedric won. Of course he did.
Yeah, poor Mike Bennett. Is there another match tonight or not?
I don't think so.
It looks like Arya Daivari took on a jobber. And Humberto Carrillo. That dude's fucking talented, dude. That dude is Humberto Carrillo. Man, is so quick and effortless in the ring. It's insane. Yeah, so it looks like those are next week's matches. With Kendrick and Gulak and Nice and Kalisto. Wonder if the man of the hour is going to be in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Has he been wrestling on the show lately? I haven't gotten to watch 205 Live lately.
Not in a few weeks.
Today we got another tease. Because, it's tease season. Special announcement on Wednesday's edition of NXT. What can it be, Matt?
Could be a number of things. Could be that they're going to start going live. Could be that they're getting an expanded time slot. Could be the announcement that they're moving to Fox Sports 1.
Those guys could be moving to Raw and SmackDown.
There's tons of different things it could be.
Set for as you listen to the podcast, it'll be tonight's version of NXT. Xia Li takes on Mia Yim. Matt Riddle will speak. Aleister Black takes on Roderick Strong. And, of course, the main event, Velveteen Dream, Johnny Gargano for the NXT North American Championship, where, if you know the spoilers, they filmed 2 endings to this. Triple H, you dirty devil. I like it, though.
I think it's pretty obvious which one they're going to use now.
Considering what we've seen the last 2 nights, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is fine by me. That dude deserves a belt. Cody Rhodes has announced on Twitter today, more tickets. The boys and I lifted a production hold and opened up several hundred more seats. Let's break more records. Tickets now available at Axis.com. As we make more production changes, it's possible we will free even more space. So very cool that more people can have a chance to go to Double or Nothing. And a new match has been announced also today for 17th anniversary. King! Kenny King takes on the villain Marty Scurll. That should be a hell of a match as well.
If this doesn't scream Scroll's on his way out of the company, I don't know what does.
So that adds on
no offense, but Kenny King certainly has not had that push that, I feel that Ring of Honor should have given him a long time ago. Like, they start and stop his push so constantly, it's just like, meh.
Yeah, exactly. So that adds on to the card. It has a main event of Jay Lethal and Matt Taven. The Briscoes take on PCO and Brody King for the tag titles. Bandito against Douche Roosh. Also scheduled to appear, television champion Jeff Cobb. Women of Honor champion Mayu Iwatani. Kingdom's TK O'Ryan and Vinny Marceliga. Dalton Castle and the boys, Mark Haskins, Shane Taylor, Silas Young, Jonathan Gresham, and Kelly Klein. Card subject to change. Being the Elite this week. It's called Show Me the Meaning of Being Elite. And we start off with Cody and the Bucks and Pharaoh in the parking lot. I don't quite get the opening, Matt, about the hockey mask and the mummy, or the ski mask and the mummy. I don't know. Was it like an inside joke, and then they got like some indie wrestler that wrestles as a mummy just on the camera or something?
I'm not 100% sure myself, but I found it entertaining, and sometimes that's all that matters.
That was my educated guess. Was that was an independent wrestler that they wanted to put on the show, and there was some inside joke in there. MJF is at Cody's house, and Cody brings him some steaks, and MJF is so happy that he's got some steak until Cody walks out, and MJF calls it grade D Taco Bell meat. Oh, MJF, you're such a heel. Hey, he even teased Pharaoh. What a dick. You want some, Pharaoh? I want some. Oh, fuck. Oops. Over the railing. What a dick. He's going to slip up one of these days, Matt.
Did you see Cody's response in the comments on the Being the Elite video?
Mm-mm.
Let me see if I can find it. Alright. I'm hoping it's one of the top comments.
Update, Pharaoh found an
Yep, here it is. Yeah, you can read it.
Oh, I assumed it. Okay. Update, Pharaoh found and ate a steak in the backyard. I'm not sure why MJF threw them away. I assume it was an attempt to impress me and make me feel good about my cooking. That's cool. It's a sign of a good friend.
Fuck you, Cody.
The plot thickens.
The new episode of The Road to Double or Nothing tomorrow at noon Eastern. So
that's right.
By the time this show's live, you'll be able to go check it out.
That's right. Usually
not air an episode tonight.
Yeah, I was gonna say usually those come out during SmackDown.
Yep. I'm assuming his surgery kind of held things off a bit.
Yeah. They showed the ticket rally, Hangman coming out talking, and Bastard Pac talking about Hangman Page's butthole flappering like a napkin. That line cracked me up, by the way. What was it? His butthole is flapping like a napkin in the wind or something like that?
Something like that.
It's basically just a replay of that segment, and then we get a little behind the scenes of literally seconds before Kenny Omega is introduced to the ticket rally crowd, and Kenny's like, yeah, it's not really a surprise. Yeah, not really. Kenny's like, yeah, not really. But Kenny's still really nervous, isn't he, Matt?
Well, why wouldn't he be?
Look who's holding the curtain open for Kenny as he makes his big entrance, though. Hey, it's Cody. And we get a little gorilla. We get a little scene of gorilla when Kenny makes his entrance, which is cool. We get to see some of that behind the scenes stuff of the VPs at work, right, Matt?
I love all the behind the scenes stuff. I think that's really cool.
Especially Cody sees Kenny and goes down, holds the curtain for him, and goes back to the production, goes back to work.
It's time to go to work.
It's a meeting of the vice presidents. I'm assuming this is before the ticket rally, right?
I don't know. I kind of felt like it was after.
Okay, maybe the day after.
No, I think later on that night.
Yeah. So a meeting of the VPs, Kenny and the Bucks and Cody. And
this is so funny.
Kenny is combing over the contract. He goes, I wanted to sign it on the show like you guys did. Oh, okay, cool. And he's like, oh, okay, so when's the next show? May 25th.
Never look back now, never say die.
What do you guys got What do you guys got after that? We got some things in the works, but May 25th. Never look back, never say die.
Fucking loved it, dude. I was just dying the whole time.
You guys don't need to use this on the show, but what is AEW just a T-shirt company?
What the fuck are y'all doing? have no clue what you're fucking doing.
This is so funny. Obviously, they know what they're fucking doing, but to play it off as they don't know what they're fucking doing, this is probably what Vince thinks in his mind of these guys, right?
I don't know what Vince thinks anymore.
Show me the puppies. That was a great segment though with Kenny and May 25th, AEW. Just a glorified T-shirt company. Jesus Christ. But then he came back and signed the contract anyways, right, Matt?
Of course.
Of course. I want that Super Nintendo cartridge shirt that Kenny has.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
We got you something, Kenny. Oh, it's an AEW logo shirt. Hey, I got one of those too, Matt.
I thought it was going to be I thought they were going to show him the new Kenny Omega AEW shirt, and he was going to like, oh, all right, everything's good now.
This is
and
better.
Then he was going to sign.
This was better.
So,
this was better though. I like.
I'm just saying that's what I thought it was going. I thought they were going to show him his own shirt, and then he was going to be like all in, like no pun intended.
I like this better though. They just give him a generic one. But he signed on the dotted line, as we all know.
You're going to sign, right? Of course I'm going to sign.
Yeah, of course. Joey Janela tries to curb his fireball addiction.
Danzig backbreaker.
And Penelope shows up, and Janela's blind, but he knows Penelope by her boobs. But Penelope has some bad news for the bad boy, because she's got herself a new big bad booty daddy. Nice cameo by Scott Steiner in Being the Elite. Steiner said he could watch their sex tapes, but oh wait, you're blind, you can't watch anyways. And then Penelope goes, "This bit sucks."
I pop for that.
Yeah, the Janela bits have kind of been hit and miss. The farming one was funny though, and this one was funny too, Matt, with Steiner. So a couple of local luchadors greeting Joey Ryan. They want to get into AEW. They want to meet the Bucks personally, and Joey's like, well, we could try. They're busy guys. And I figured the best way is to get to meet the Bucks personally is to beat the hell out of Joey Ryan, right, Matt? Because they save him every time, right?
Even the cameraman attacked him last week.
Oh my God, the cameraman laid into him, man. I mean, he didn't just bump into him; he fucking stomped him. Well, Scorpio made the save, and Scorpio took another dig. Where's your blonde bodyguard? Referring to Candice LeRae.
Yeah.
Do you have any news as we're getting closer to MCW? Do you have any news on your thoughts on Invasion?
Me and Darryl will be there. But there's an event that same day that the Lucha Brothers are wrestling at. That we seem to think that the Bucks will be going to that. Unfortunately,
is that the tease at the end of the show that I'm going to talk about in a minute?
That's what I'm thinking. That's what we're thinking. Yeah, it's a bummer. I don't like to see him there, but I get to go see SCU, get to enjoy a good night of MCW wrestling, which is always entertaining for me. So I'm gonna have a good time regardless.
You might get Hangman.
Yeah, could get Hangman. Definitely won't get Cody, but get Hangman.
You get Kenny Omega coming out of the bathroom high-fiving the Bucks without washing his hands.
We get Kenny Omega, that would lose my fucking mind.
Kenny Omega smells like chlorine. Kenny Omega has a great idea to crash an indie show. I'm interested. Are you interested, Matt?
Of course.
But first, we check in on CD. Ooh, that tooth. Ooh. I see why they blurred that out now. I don't blame you, CD. So they fix it up, and they're in the hotel room, and he shows it off, and the dentist put a grill on CD's mouth. What? They wanted to put an AEW logo on CD's mouth. Okay. Oh, Scorpion's like, cool, I want one. Kaz is flipping out. God damn it, CD, we have a dentist in AEW. She wasn't around. So CD is gonna get it fixed, but so CD's got a grill for now, and he's gonna go get it fixed. Oh my God, these guys are funny. So Kenny and the Bucks are huddled up in their AEW hoodies, hoods up. Kenny says they're about 500 meters away from the arena, getting ready to invade an indie show. And that indie show turned out to be a Backstreet Boys concert.
I love it.
That was great. How about Debbie Downer behind them in the row behind them? They zoomed in on her that one time. She's just sitting there.
I think I must have missed that.
Oh my God! It was one of the girls in glasses. It was during that one slow song, and she's just sitting down. Everybody's standing singing along, and she's just sitting there. They zoom in on her, just sitting there.
I must have totally missed that. I'm gonna have to go back and watch. Maybe I was just laughing too hard to notice.
Maybe she was crying. Maybe she was overwhelmed and was crying. I don't know. And then we got an encore, and then we get a text from Matt, from Nick to Matt. How's your neck feeling? And they showed the package pile driver from Pentagon. Matt says, it's a little rough. I'm fine. I'll survive. Check your email. I sent you a flight. What? Where are we going? Says Nick. Matt says, angel emoji. And Matt, you think you know where that is, huh?
Yeah, to me, it just makes sense that they're going to go confront the Lucha Brothers. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but that's what makes sense to me anyway.
Where's that show?
So,
where's that show at?
I'm going to say it and be wrong. I think it's in Connecticut, but I might be wrong. I can't remember.
It's the same night as MCW, though, huh?
Yes, same night.
Boo.
I know it's AAW Wrestling. I just don't remember where it is. Let me see if I can figure it out.
Oh, while you're looking that up, the identity of the guy that faced Arya Daivari on 205 Live tonight's from Hawks' Wildcat Wrestling.
Yeah, it is this Saturday. It is in Chicago. It's the Lucha Brothers against LAX, against AR Fox and Myron Reed for AEW Pro Wrestling.
I did see a flyer for that.
Yeah, bell time's at 7:30. So there's no way they could pull off both shows. But that's where I think they're going to be. But we'll see.
Was Carrillo and TJP a first round match also tonight?
Maybe. I wasn't paying enough attention to tell you either way. I was much more focused on getting prepared for this show than I was paying attention to 205 Live tonight. 205 Live just becomes a bearer of bad news for me because it's on the exact same time we're going to record, so I don't get to watch it now nearly as often as I used to.
They said half the field is set. I don't know. So I'm wondering if, because obviously the Arya Daivari versus a jobber wasn't a match for it, so I'm wondering if Carrillo was a match for it. NXT this week, last week I mean, Dominic Dijakovic took on Shane Thorne, formerly of the Mighty. I'm still baffled why they released Nick Miller, Matt. I
heard he requested his release. It wasn't like a planned punishment or anything, you know.
Though I see a lot out of Shane Thorne. I think Shane Thorne can succeed by himself. So, maybe it's the best for everybody involved. I don't know. Dijakovic, Matt, you and I already know what he can do, but he continues to show the NXT universe what he can do, doesn't he?
True that.
Still don't know if they're booking him heel or face yet, but remains to be seen. The Undisputed Era talked about their bad start in 2019, but they will rebound and all be dripping in gold in 2019. But the news we got out of that, Matt, is Red Dragon is reformed. which is good. Good news. It sounds like Fish and O'Reilly will be going after the tag titles. Roddy would be going after the North American Championship, and Adam Cole, baby, going after the NXT Championship. I would not be surprised, Matt, if they don't get called up. I would not be surprised if they hold all the gold by the end of the year.
I wouldn't doubt it either, especially with all the talent leaving.
Humberto Carrillo and Stacey Irvin Jr. are in the ring as they take on the Street Profits, and Stacey Irvin Jr. reminds me of a young Xavier Woods, a young Consequences Creed. That dude's exciting too, dude. That dude, I guess he's been impressing in the Performance Center, and he had some pretty cool moves, didn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
Street Profits got the win, though, no surprise. But it was a pretty lengthy match. It was not a squash job by any means. Before the match, though, Cassius Ohno had showed up and said, "I'm out." Then Keith Lee laid him out. This is storyline, though, with Cassius, don't you think?
I would certainly think so.
I've not heard any buzz otherwise.
Yeah, I would think it's just storyline, but stranger things have happened.
I mean, we would have heard something by now, probably, if it was otherwise. Street Profits wanted to claim their proclamation as challengers for the War Raiders, but they were not alone. One of my favorite new up-and-coming teams, Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel, made their way to the stage and said, "Hold on, playa." And the very popular team of Danny Burch and Ani Lorcan came out to join the party. But then the War Raiders made the stage and said, "There's an awful lot of talking, but no fighting. You want those titles? Make a move." Well, somebody made a move, and it was the Undisputed Era. They attacked the War Raiders from behind. But the War Raiders stood tall in the end. The tag division is kind of... It seems like there's Undisputed and War Raiders, but there's a little promise there, Matt. If you throw in Burch and Lorcan, and if you develop the Street Profits, and if you develop Eichner and Bartel, I think that they could. I think the tag division's still in good hands, don't you think?
Yeah, I would think so.
I don't know if you're high on Eichner and Bartel like I am, but
I'm really not. But
I'm pretty high on them guys, though, and they may be more on the UK side of things. But
I think they need to be in the UK brand more until they're further established.
Yeah, I think they make a great team, though. We got Tayanara Kanchi against Aaliyah. I did not realize Aaliyah was still in the company. Apparently, Aaliyah stole Konya Reeves'
Trust me, if she gets released, you'll hear about it.
Matt will be celebrating from the rooftops. Apparently, Aaliyah stole Konya Reeves' gimmick. Okay. Well, apparently, Aaliyah might be in a storyline, though. Matt's going to sigh about that one. As Aaliyah gets the victory.
I don't know if you can consider what she did to be a storyline, but all right.
And Vanessa Bourne raises her hand, so we might be having a new alliance there. But it didn't take long.
I really think it was just a backdrop for
Shayna Baszler to whoop that ass.
Yep.
Okay. So that's what happened. And then the main event. I mean, Ricochet, Adam Cole. We don't have to say anything about that, do we, Matt?
Not in my opinion.
Fucking great,
baby.
At the end of the match, Undisputed had ganged up on Ricochet. Black tried to make the save, but Undisputed came out on top. Come on, no other friends want to make the save here, guys? Come on.
Come on.
Bueller? All right, let's dive into that Elimination Chamber. It's unfortunate, Matt, that the cruiserweights are not getting their just due because Buddy Murphy Akira Tozawa was a fucking great match on the kickoff show, wasn't it?
You get no argument from me, pal.
Dude, the near falls in that fucking match, they had the crowd too, didn't they?
It was definitely a good way to kick off the show. No pun intended.
And here's the thing. Exactly none of us thought Tozawa was going to go over, but still...
No, there wasn't even a question to me.
But still, we had some killer near falls that made us think, whoa, you know.
Nah, I never thought at any point that the title was changing hands.
There were some good near falls in there, though, I'll tell you what. But after 13 minutes and 30 seconds of great cruiserweight action, Buddy Murphy comes out on top. I think they're grooming Buddy Murphy to eclipse Neville as the top cruiserweight reigner of all time. Matt, you agree?
Probably.
Just to get Neville off the books. Let's see here. We got Neville. Neville set at 197. God, Cedric Alexander was only 16 days short of Neville.
I'm sure Vince regrets that now.
Oof. Buddy is still about 60 days out, so he would have to win at Mania. Which, I mean, right now, who really in that division you feel would topple Buddy right now?
I don't have a clue. Not the way they're booking him anyway.
Right now, it was like, oh, it doesn't seem like Buddy's going to be champion for a while. Now it feels like he's going to be champion for a while after some wins that he's had. So
the brand's honestly, the brand's kind of treading water right now. So
why? What do you do with it? I mean, but
I just think the stories on the brand are rather stagnant right now. Like the wrestling's great every week, but they're, to me, like I don't. Like, I have it on the side when we're recording.
Is there not enough?
Nothing that I see that makes me want to go back and watch the show, like, unbothered after we're done.
Is there not enough? Is there not enough attention?
I don't know.
To the stories, you think, or
it's not doing it for me anymore.
Well, the bombshell from Corey Graves' wife dropped on Sunday, and guess who kicks off Elimination Chamber, Matt? Carmella.
And Naomi.
Wrong way Naomi and homewrecker Carmella kick off the women's tag team Elimination Chamber match kicks off the pay-per-view, the main card of the pay-per-view. I'll tell you what, Matt. Outside of those two that were in the match for the least amount of time, I thought the Iconics looked great. I thought Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville looked the best they ever looked in the company. I thought Riot Squad looked good here. I thought everybody involved looked good in this chamber match. Do you agree?
No, absolutely.
I think the writing was on the wall when Nia Jax got put through that plexiglass that they're going to gang up on Tamina and knock them out. I think that was almost a given, but also what was almost a given was who was getting eliminated first from the chamber. That was Carmella and Naomi, just based on certain events from the past 48 hours. The Iconics actually got the elimination there, but they were then soon eliminated by Nia Jax and Tamina. The Riot Squad were eliminated shortly after that. But as I said, Nia Jax tried to do a spear through and went through the pod, and that led to all 6 women that were in the ring ganging up on Tamina. Actually, not 6. All 4 women ganging up on Tamina, 4-on-1, to eliminate them. That left it down to Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. And that was a great final 2 with those 4 ladies, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very entertaining.
And what a moment! What an emotional moment! I mean, and I didn't think they were going to go this route until Monday when I saw they were going to enter the chamber first, and that's where I changed my mind. And I'm glad they did the right thing, because this was an emotional moment. I mean, Beth Phoenix was crying. Corey Graves was crying, dude. He might have been crying for other reasons, but it was a moment in history, wasn't it, Matt?
It was a great way to start the show. I wish they would have closed the show, but I get why they didn't do it. And I thought the chamber opened and closed with great stuff. Although I felt the opener was less predictable than the main event.
At least the women will close Mania. I have a good feeling on that. So I have a good feeling on that, Matt. You?
I would pretty much bank on it.
Charlie Caruso interviewed them. They really couldn't put any words together at this moment, which I don't, I can't blame them. And just a great moment. Next up is the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Shane McMahon and The Miz take on the Usos. And here we are thinking, Jimmy gets arrested. Well, that's going to change the complexion of this match, and Shane and Miz might not be turning on each other. Right, Matt?
I'll give you a Dean response.
It's kind of a unique finish, though, wasn't it? Where Miz hits the skull frustrating finale, takes a while to get the pin, roll him over for the pin, and gets kind of bamboozled for the win.
And I'm sure they'll lose again at Fastlane.
Which sets up the WrestleMania match, right?
Yep.
I thought the heel turn was going to start tonight when Miz said on SmackDown, "I used you to get to the SmackDown Tag Team titles," or something like that. He said, "I used you," but he didn't really say how he used him, so I was kind of confused on that. But hey, were you surprised that the Usos won, especially after what happened?
Yeah, I was surprised they won. There was a lot of things that surprised me on the show, and that was one of them. So,
6-time tag champs now. Hey, I guess you can be disorderly, still be okay in the eyes of Vince. Next up is the another surprise, Matt. 2-on-1 handicap match for the Intercontinental Championship. Bobby Lashley, Lio Rush took on Finn Balor. This only went about 10 minutes. It was an okay match, decent match. But how about Finn Balor coming out as the Intercontinental Champion? That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
That was, like I said, that was another surprise, especially after Finn went over on Monday. Normally, that's a big red flag to saying he's not winning on Sunday, but they put him over anyway. So it's nice when WWE lets you think something's going to happen, and then they end up changing it up on you.
Well, and then you think, oh, Bobby and Leo are done because Bobby slams Leo in the ring, and then they kind of threw the wool over your eyes on Monday, didn't they?
Well, I'm still not 100% sure those guys are a cohesive unit anymore.
Well, yeah, Leo did get pinned again on Monday.
Yeah, and Lashley was not happy. So
Finn Balor is your new Intercontinental Champion. Kevin Owens took to Twitter and congratulated him. Said same but different, showing an old picture of Finn holding the NXT Championship while Kevin was holding the IC belt. Charlotte Flair comes out for the Raw Women's Championship match. Looking fine as the Queen does. And we got Ronda Rousey, Ruby Riott that went 1:40 minutes, Matt. Huh?
Why bother?
At least the Raw match was a lot better, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Raw match was solid for the most part. But yeah, this was kind of like, why did they even bother? They could have just had Riott get attacked in the back or something and done the angle what they did after the match is just really what they all wanted to do anyway.
Yep. This was the point where this and then what followed with Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman, this is what probably made it a B instead of an A in my book for the pay-per-view. But it was still a good, solid pay-per-view altogether. But this part of the pay-per-view is probably what put it in the B status. After the match, the man, as they showed at a WWE live event just a day prior, was it correct me if I'm wrong, was it Charlotte and Asuka at the WWE live match, Matt?
Yes.
And Becky came in to attack and Charlotte got the upper hand, re-injuring her knee. Becky shows up in crutches, barely able to get into the ring. Charlotte basically laughing at her. Like, really? Really, man? Really? Well, and then Lynch attacks Flair with the crutch, beating the shit out of her. And Rousey's reaction to that was great, wasn't it, Matt?
She's like, yeah, I don't care. Lay into her.
Hey, you want a piece of this, Ronnie? You want a piece of this? Ah, psych. Bam! And Becky hits Ronnie with the crutch as well before finally security gets in the way. Well, next Monday is Ric Flair's 70th birthday celebration. What can go wrong there, huh?
What doesn't go wrong during a birthday celebration?
I don't know why we had Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman no disqualification. This was like the same thing we've seen on Raw twice.
This was the bathroom break match.
We've seen this on Raw twice already. I mean, it was kind of a cool spot doing the Shield Power Man bomb through 2 tables, but we've seen this on Raw twice, Matt.
It meant absolutely nothing because Corbin had no help the next night on Raw, and it was just like, yeah, let's just forget this thing on the pay-per-view ever happened.
Booking on the fly, right?
So I told you, day to day. That's how I feel this company's being run right now.
Shane's getting looked at by a doctor. Miz being angry about the title loss. Shane's telling him to calm down, but Miz is pissed off because he had promised the win on his unborn child because, as I forgot to mention before, Maurice came out and announced that they're pregnant again. Congrats to Miz and Maurice. Obviously, this is the makings of another Miz heel turn, right? Or is Shane going to be the heel?
Maybe Shane turns on him. We don't know. Yeah. We'll wait and see We'll wait and see what they do with it.
And what the fuck are they doing with Lacey Evans?
I don't know. I've heard rumblings it's going to be her and Asuka at Mania, but I don't really understand how they're going to get to that point.
What, is she going to walk down the ramp and walk out and get counted out? Because that's all they've done the last 3 nights. Hey, Tucky, look at that lady.
Oh boy.
Maybe she's gonna be managing heavy machinery like Sonny manages the Godwins.
Stop.
You believe WrestleMania is only 49 days away, man? Felt like it was like 66 days away, like 2 days ago. It's time for the Chamber. How about Joe and Brian starting off in the Chamber? How good was that? That made me happy.
Wish Joe was the first eliminated, but...
True. Joe eliminated by AJ Styles with the phenomenal forearm. The third guy in was Jeff Hardy. The fourth guy in was AJ Styles. Actually, no, the fifth guy was Jeff Hardy. Sorry. Kofi was the fourth guy. AJ was the third guy. Jeff Hardy came in. Jeff Hardy did not last long at all. He got eliminated with running knee from Daniel Bryan, which was fucking well timed. That was a sweet move. Daniel Bryan hitting the knee on Jeff Hardy there. Randy Orton hits an RKO on AJ Styles to get him eliminated, and the big pop really got the crowd in Houston going is when Kofi Kingston hit Trouble in Paradise to eliminate Randy Orton. Did you think we were going to go down to Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston as the final 2 here?
Yeah, I kind of did.
Kind of did?
Yeah.
How good was this final 2, though? I mean, the crowd... I've not seen a crowd this invested in a long time. It was insane, wasn't it?
It was great, man.
I don't know how long the final 2 went, but it went for a fair amount of time. And man, there were some near falls, and it had the crowd on the edge of their seats, had me on the edge of the seats. I mean, but I knew. It's just like the NXT. It was like an NXT finish, Matt, when Kofi jumped off the pod and missed. It was like a Velveteen Dream finish. I knew that was the end of it. I knew in my heart that was the end of it. But, oh my God. What a week Kofi Kingston's had. And you can confirm that he was not in any plans going into WrestleMania. And now he's in the WWE Championship at Fastlane. How crazy is that?
It's pretty fucking nuts. Here's my point. They're booking day to day right now.
If they're booking day to day, they might as well just book him in at WrestleMania. Make this a no contest. No,
I feel like they already know who they want Bryan to face in Mania. They know the end game, but they don't know what they're doing as they try to get there.
Kevin Owens?
I think it's going to be Kevin Owens.
That movie theater video was pretty funny too. What do you mean what do you mean no change?
He's not wrong, dude.
The sun ain't wrong, you mean?
No,
probably is $20 for popcorn.
Yeah, as much as freaking food costs at the movie theaters, I think the kid was being legit.
Yeah, he was not giving you he was not lying to you there KO. Thanks to everybody that voted on our Twitter poll after a great Elimination Chamber, great in my opinion, great. I gave it a B just because of that little back-to-back kind of snafu. And most of the world agreed with us as well. 53% of you voted a B. 42% of you voted an A. And 5% were trolls. Gave it a D or F. I gave it a B, Matt. That's about where you put it, right?
Yeah, solid B.
A lot of fun. Monday Night Raw kicks off with a graphic in the memory of Pedro Morales, who passed away last week. Triple H kicks off the show. Talked about the history that was made with Sasha Banks and Bayley. Mentioned Finn Balor becoming the new Intercontinental Champion. Talked about Kofi, which led to a huge Kofi chant. That was about the most that crowd got into it, right, Matt?
Like I said, the only two times that crowd popped on Monday was to chant Kofi at the beginning and chant for Becky at the end. And honestly, that crowd was so shitty, they didn't deserve either of them.
Yeah. He said something cool happened today, and it talked about the announcement from ESPN about DX going to the Hall of Fame.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
Ty Dillinger requested his release tonight.
Ooh, wow.
He announced it on Instagram. So there's another one.
Wow.
There you go. They keep stacking up, buddy. Hope that doesn't hurt Peyton Royce's standing in the company.
Oh, I didn't know they were an item.
Yep, they are. Oh, boy.
I can't even find him on Twitter right now.
Yeah, I got it from Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful. Ty Dillinger is the latest WWE superstar to ask for his release, as he announced on his Instagram. So, I don't know what his Twitter account is, so I don't follow him.
I used to be able to type Dillinger in and get it, but yeah. Wow. Oh, there it is. I found it.
Perfect 10N. He's using his real name now, Ronnie Arneal. I guess we can read it. We'll read it. I'm going to read it to the people right now. Before the rumors begin to spread, let me set things straight ahead of time. This evening, I requested my release from WWE. In the past 5.5 years with them, I have seen and done some wonderful things that I am very proud of and will never forget. I have met and have had worked with some of the greatest talent on this earth, and the pleasure has been all mine. I feel at this time this decision, as extremely difficult as it was, is what is best for myself and WWE. I wish to continue to grow as a performer and offer those paying hard-earned money to watch a show I'm performing on a little more of myself. To the male and female locker rooms, coaches, and producers, to the production ring crew, all the way up to the very top of WWE and most of all the fans, I wish you all the very best and thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything.
What was that account again? Perfect 10 what?
Perfect 10N.
Spell out 10 or no?
No, 10. At perfect10N.
On Instagram or Twitter?
Twitter.
Okay.
It was this moment we found out that Ty Dillinger has blocked JB.
No. I can't find it at all. Oh, there. No, that ain't it.
Dude, if it's not coming up for you, that means he has you blocked.
I don't know why he would have me blocked.
I don't know either, but I'm telling you, if you can't find him on Twitter and I'm giving you his @handle, it means he has you blocked. I'm going to copy and paste this tweet into our group DM. And if you can't see it, then you're blocked. We're about to find out right now. Ty Dillinger has blocked JB Huskers, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
this is live as it happens.
Let's find out, because he's liked a lot of my tweets, and I just typed in his account, so it said it didn't exist, so I'm typing something wrong.
I'm trying to freaking get into the freaking message folder right now. Of course it would try to stall on me right now. I'm going to refresh this stupid thing. Oh, now you open up. Fuck you.
Of course, when you hit refresh, it will work.
Yeah, no, I was clicking the button, hit refresh, and then it popped up.
Yep, of course.
So I'm going to send this, and then I'm going to reboot this stupid program.
There it is. He doesn't have a he doesn't have a T in the 10 or the perfect.
Oh, perfect 10 T10N. Like, yeah, I get it. Haha, that's funny. I guess that'll be his gimmick on the Indies.
Yeah, actually, you sure that Vince had trademarked that shit? I was gonna say, why would he block me? JBL, I know why he blocked me. He's fickle. So Triple H also mentioned that, hey, NXT is going to debut some talent tonight. Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Ricochet, and Aleister Black. So what was your thought when you heard that tonight, Matt? Or heard that on Monday?
Well, I heard about it in the afternoon.
True. Yes.
So I was expecting it. That WWE confirmed it hours later on their own Twitter account. So yeah, I was confused, honestly, because and honestly, to this day, as we sit here and record, I'm still a little bit confused, because I don't understand if this is a permanent call up, if this is, testing the waters, or like, I don't understand. I don't really understand what's going on right now. So
shit, they probably don't know.
I'm sure if anybody knows, the four talent themselves know. But
well, here's a telling thing: they went 6-0 on Monday and Tuesday, so they may be called up. But here's the weird thing: I mean, well, we know that there's an out with Gargano. Where's the out with Ciampa? Do they do a tournament to determine the next NXT champion?
I just think he drops it at the show at Barclays to whoever his opponent is. I don't think they're going to strip him unless that injury he suffered tonight in that tag match is worse than it seems. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com said that Ciampa was telling people backstage that he was okay. But you can never be too sure.
He was okay. He was okay before
he's okay.
He was okay before the year he was out too.
Exactly. So clearly the doctors are going to have to look at him. We'll probably have more information on that tomorrow. We'll definitely have more information on that next week on Lost in the Midcard. But as far as what Sean has said from Fightful, Ciampa said he's okay. Sheamus said he was okay. It was a scary spot. If everybody came out from it unscathed, thank God. Yeah. So.
For some reason, we got Strowman and Corbin again, and it was a tables match, and it took forever. Strowman won, though. Oh, yeah, and as Matt said, nobody helped Corbin that time. Weird. Paul Heyman introduced some video of Brock Lesnar that, of shit we already know. Don't know the point of this, but okay. Finn Balor came out. Talked about he was proud to be the Intercontinental Champion. Wasn't too long until Lio Rush interrupted, and then Lashley attacked from behind. So it looks like Rush and Lashley are still together for now. Ricochet makes the save, which sets up a dream team of Finn Balor and Ricochet as they took on Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush. And Matt, they made Ricochet look real good here, didn't they?
I thought he had the best debut of the night.
He did.
On the 4. Thought he had a great showing. Honestly, I would love to get a one-on-one match with him and Lio Rush on Raw next week or something like that. I loved it. It was great.
We got to see 2 630s from Ricochet this week too, we don't see 630s as much on NXT from him, but we got to see it a lot this week. Lucha House Party took on Ryder and Hawkins, and Ryder and Hawkins lost. Yay. Heavy Machinery.
Moving on.
Yeah, Heavy Machinery came out.
Became the new Bushwhackers.
And became the new Bushwhackers, and they got interrupted by Lacey Evans, who, again, has a new gimmick of walking. I think Lacey Evans is the new Emelina. I think that's what this is. I don't know, what the fuck are they doing?
WWE thinks it's a push. So you tell me.
I think it's
better. It's better than EC3 not being on TV at all this week.
I think it's the new Emelina is what I think it is. So.
Yeah, but Emelina was never on TV.
Didn't they show? She came out on stage a couple times, right?
No, she came out one time, and that was to announce that the gimmick was dead.
Oh.
The other stuff were just vignette promos.
I thought she came out a couple times other than that.
No, she came out one time.
DIY and Revival, that was fucking great. And DIY wins, which makes us think, maybe they are getting called up and feuding with the Revival at WrestleMania? Matt? Maybe?
I think Raw's tag team division needs a lot of help.
It does.
If they're gonna look to a team like DIY and Heavy Machinery to help strengthen that division on that side of the Raw brand, I think it's a great idea.
Don't get me wrong. I love Heavy Machinery. I love Tay-Tucky, but and they're treated like jokes. But in the ring, they are a good tag team. So don't get me wrong. Heavy Machinery is a solid tag team. They're just not showing you. They're showing you the funny side of things right now. But they are a good tag team. But oh my God, DIY Revival at Mania. How good would that be, Matt?
It could happen. We don't know. Like as I said, it's the $1 million question right now. And normally I can get this type of information relatively quickly. But when everybody in that company that I talk to seems to be just as much in the dark as I am, it's very, very interesting. And to me, that's why I feel like really the only people that knew this was happening was the very tight inner circle of management of the company, and that's it.
Top of the top.
Top of the top. And I think it's a fascinating time on the road to WrestleMania that there's this much uncertainty within the company right now.
I mean, this is brilliant, to be honest.
No, the only thing I worry about is you debuting these guys like 6 weeks out from WrestleMania, and I'm terrified that 4 of the biggest stars of NXT, if they're being called up, if this is a call up, they could end up being lost in the shuffle, which I would really hate. And honestly, they could be lost in the Midcard.
Well,
but
they started 6-0 this week, so not bad. They showed Kevin Owens' cell phone promo from the movie theater, which was great, and also further shows us he's no pun intended, kids. He's fighting for his family. Was the takeaway from this, and he's going to truly be a babyface coming back. Sasha Banks and Bayley. I thought they had a good speech on Raw, Matt.
Yeah, it was fine.
And you're happy that they got interrupted by Nia Jax and Tamina to get this out of the way at Fastlane, right?
Oh, thank God.
Oh, well, and you told me and D on this on Twitter, but what's the WrestleMania rumor that makes me happy?
I think it's Sasha Bailey against Trish and Lita.
Which I thought it was going to be those two teams in the finals of the tournament, but not knowing they're going to do this in the Elimination Chamber. So having that at Mania is going to be cool too.
I'm not saying it's 100% confirmed, but I definitely think it's a distinct possibility.
Earlier in the evening, Drew McIntyre got slapped in the face by Dean Ambrose, who's now all of a sudden the zany babyface again, which led to a 2-minute squash match and hilarity afterwards when Seth Rollins was interviewed by Charlie Caruso. They got interviewed after showing the second part of the Brock Lesnar video, and Rollins and Ambrose rolls up and goes, "Where were you, man?" Rollins like, "Are you out of your mind?" And as I told Matt earlier in the day, I go, it's like creative forgot. It's like creative forgot about the last 4 months with Ambrose, and we're back to.
I, honest to God, I think they're just like they're at this point where they're just like, we know you're gone in April.
Let you do whatever in your happy zone.
We're gonna job you out, but creatively do whatever the hell you want on the way out.
Be in your happy zone.
And I think that's what they're doing. And he is actually the event card in Supercard this weekend. So this will be the last ever Dean Ambrose event card in WWE Supercard. So if you play that game and you're a Dean Ambrose fan,
I do.
I would recommend getting that card this weekend because this will be the last.
Yeah, but I got to be
Dean Ambrose event card of all the times.
I got to be. It's ring domination though, right? And I got to be shattered.
Yeah, it's ring domination. Yeah.
I'm Neon Plus.
Come on, man.
I know.
Come on, man.
I'm on a shattered team now, though. So.
Well, hopefully you can score some really good cards in the next couple of days and instantly improve your improve your ring domination deck and get in there and get that card.
My team deck is shattered, but yeah, that's fine. I don't think my ring domination is shattered.
Do you have any cards to pro right now?
Just Gothic.
No, you need neons.
Yeah.
You need to pro some neons and some shattereds.
Yeah. I have not pro'd a single shattered yet, so I did luckily pro a Roman Reigns Valentine's neon though.
Well, there you go. But yeah, you need to pro some more neons right now. So hopefully with your battleground rewards, maybe you can get there.
Well, now that I'm on this shattered team, it's a little better. But my team deck is shattered because I got a neon Apollo Pro and I got that neon Roman. And then I got a neon Candice LeRae. So, for those that don't know the game, they're like, "What are these guys talking about?"
It's wrestling related.
Yeah. So my team deck is shattered. It's just my ring domination deck is not. My ring domination deck is Neon Plus right now.
About to pro my Velveteen Dream right now.
Yeah, I would need probably a couple more Neon Pros to get to Shattered. Because my worst ring domination card is my Christmas Shattered Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh.
Then it's my Gothic Pros.
Tough guy.
I'm working on 2 Gothic Pros right now, Randy Orton and Seth Rollins, but yeah, I need some Neon Pros.
Yeah, neon's somewhere you need to be.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten some neon cards lately. Like, I got up to the Macho Man, and I got Mustafa Ali from the Ring Domination, but those weren't pros, unfortunately. So, hey, little segue in the old WWE Supercard game, which I got into last fall, like, into and have not stopped. Elias comes out, and we're like, well, we're running out of time, so this must be where Aleister Black enters, and he did. Wasn't much of a match. It was either headlocks or Aleister Black beating the shit out of Elias, and so Elias.
I thought the match was fine for what it was.
Yeah. Obviously, a lot better match on SmackDown with Andrade, but those guys know each other a lot better too. So, and then of course, as we said earlier in the show, the main event was Ronda Rousey, Ruby Riott for the Raw Women's Championship. Much better than the pay-per-view match. This went about 11 minutes, which was about 10 times as long as the match on the pay-per-view. But that was it. That was the end of the show. After Rousey got the win there. SmackDown this week starts off with Shane McMahon. Says, hey, those NXT guys are going to be on SmackDown this week. I wasn't expecting that. Were you?
I heard that they might be, but I wasn't able to get it confirmed. So,
happy surprise then. Miz made the interruption and said it's been a sleepless 48 hours. And says, Shane, you've got the power. Make the rematch happen. Even though rematch clauses are dead, make it happen. And Shane was like, well, I just can't do it, really. And well, the fans started chanting rematch. The Usos came out. The Usos said, hey, Universe wants a rematch. We'll give you a rematch. But we know you don't want a rematch because Miz is a joke. Well, that got under Shane's skin a little bit. And that led to Shane announcing that in Miz's hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, Fastlane, we will get a rematch for those tag titles. And yeah, Usos probably retaining, right, Matt?
I would think so.
How about this for a unique matchup? Aleister Black, Andrade. Who's with Andrade St. Almas, Matt?
You mean Aleister's wife?
Yeah, Aleister's wife. What a unique little dynamic there. Hell of a match though between these two, huh?
Yeah, they know how to work together. It wasn't really a surprise.
No, 10-minute match, great match. Aleister Black went over, of course, because we said that NXT guys went 6-0. Ciampa and Gargano were watching on TV backstage when the Bar came up to them and trash talked them and made fun of them, and we're like, oh, the Bar taking DIY lightly, Matt. That's not good, is it?
Well, it is what it is.
That's not good. But how excited were we when we found out the Bar was taking on DIY?
Oh, I popped immediately when they confronted each other. I'm like, we're getting this match.
Yep.
And I was very, very excited.
That baby went 11 minutes with DIY getting the win. Tremendous match with those guys, considering they've never worked together. But and of course there was a scary moment with Sheamus and Ciampa, but it sounds like everybody's okay out of that.
Hopefully, we'll probably know more tomorrow. But initial report seems that they're okay.
Asuka, but hey, they finally remembered Asuka as the championship too. They actually admitted kind of that they forgot about Asuka, which was even funnier. And Asuka's tired of hearing about Ronda and Charlotte and Becky. She wants to know who's ready for Asuka. And Matt, to your delight, Mandy Rose answered the bell, huh?
Love it.
And they had a little match, and Lacey Evans again makes an entrance and goes back up the ramp. What the fuck, guys? This is stupid. This is stupid. But it led to Rose pinning. It led to Rose getting an upper hand, and Asuka hit a knee to face on Mandy Rose, and she acted like she was severely injured, but it was all a ruse, and it led to Mandy Rose getting a pin on Asuka, which I think we're getting ourselves a little Fastlane title match here, Matt.
It certainly seems to be that way.
Well deserved too with Mandy Rose, don't you agree?
No, absolutely. And look, with Charlotte and Becky busy with Ronda for WrestleMania, they needed to establish some other women on that brand as people who could go in there and compete and work with Asuka. And they started tonight. So I think it's a good thing.
You seriously think they're going Lacey Evans, Asuka at WrestleMania?
I don't think anything. I'm just telling you what I was told. To me, that doesn't make any sense. And with plans changing by the day, it probably isn't going to happen. But I'm telling you, that's what I was told.
Northeast Wrestling, end of April. just announced April 26th, Danbury, Connecticut. SCU and the Lucha Brothers. Kaz and Daniels against Pentagon and Phoenix. Ricochet took on Eric Young as Sanity. It was a quick match, but we got to see everything in Ricochet's arsenal of how great he is. So, here we go. All said and done. NXT went 6-0, Matt. What's this say to you?
I'd say it's a sign that they might finally stop fucking up people they call up. If these are call-ups. We don't know.
Or was Vince just on Ambien that night? Or did he have an XFL meeting, like you said earlier in our DMs?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
The New Day were interviewed by Kayla in Gorilla earlier in the evening. Kofi offered the olive pancake branch to AJ and Jeff, his tag partners in the main event 6-man tag. It was pretty cool to see Big E do the intro live in Gorilla, huh? I don't know if we've ever have we ever gotten to see that?
I don't think we've ever seen it before.
We know he does it live, but yeah, that was pretty cool. And KofiMania, baby. I've got it, Matt. You got it?
Kofi's the man right now, dog. Don't know how long it's gonna last, but you got to ride that. When you got that momentum train, you should ride it while it's happening, and hopefully WWE's smart enough to do that. So far, it seems like they are.
Can you put him over at Fastlane? All right,
No, it's not happening. I'm just being real. It's not happening.
Yeah.
It'd be great. It'd be really cool.
Is it happening sometime in 2019? Is it happening sometime in 2019?
I doubt it.
You don't think it's going to be a Seth Rollins type of deal?
No, I just know the way Vince works. I just don't see it happening.
And I mean, we've never really had a true black heavyweight WWE champion ever. I mean, The Rock is half black, half Samoan. But, I mean, everybody's half something nowadays. So it's hard to, nowadays it's hard to really, it's 2019 is a different world than in 1992 when Ron Simmons won the NWA World Heavyweight title and he was the first black man to do so. So times are completely different now where the world is even more of a melting pot than it was. But still, I mean, it's still interesting that a black man has not really ever held the WWE Championship. It's still interesting
that long overdue.
And it's still interesting that Kofi Kingston has never held. I mean, you and I did not even know each other in 2009, but you and I were both invested in the Randy Orton feud, were we not?
Absolutely. I was front row to see Kofi at Capital Punishment in Washington, D.C. I was wearing my Kofi shirt. You could see me on the WWE Network slapping his hand all the way back then. I've been a Kofi fan for forever. It's just... you don't know. I would love to believe that he's going to get it, but I just don't buy it.
Yeah, Meltzer's not buying it either. Hey, at least we're getting what I asked for last week on the show, Matt. I asked for just at least this match, I said, hey, give me this at least, and Vince listened. So... great 6-man tag to end the night, and of course, riding the hot wave, Kofi Kingston gets the hot tag, hits Trouble in Paradise on Bryan, pins Bryan again to get the win. Shane McMahon comes out and says at Fastlane, it's Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston, which made us all happy, made the New Orleans crowd pop as well. You could tell even Jeff kind of looked disappointed at first, but then kind of congratulated Kofi. AJ congratulating Kofi when as Big E and Xavier were hoisting them up on their shoulders. And I don't know, Matt. I know you know Vince, I know Vince, but God damn it, this is the New Day. The New Day is huge. The New Day is big. The New Day's been established. The New Day could main event WrestleMania. Kofi and the New Day can represent the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. They're fucking selling merch like none other. Now this is probably helping it even better. Don't you agree?
It's not the fact could they. It's the fact will they let them. There's a big difference. Big difference.
Yeah.
And I just don't see it happening. I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to see that we are truly in a new era of the WWE. But I'm not buying it. And they have to freaking prove me wrong.
Yeah, well. God, if they prove us wrong, maybe we will be doing a post-show after Fastlane. If Kofi Kingston is WWE champion, will we be doing a Fastlane post-show?
You know what? Sure. Why the fuck not?
All right.
If Kofi Kingston wins the WWE title at Fastlane, we will do a post-game show for immediate reaction.
Mark it.
But I just don't see it happening.
Mark it. All right. That's going to do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard. Unfortunately, Comcast couldn't get Darryl working, so hopefully we can get him back on the horn next week for next week's show as we get ever so close to Fastlane, which is just 2 weeks from this Sunday. Already coming up on us, and then WrestleMania just a few short days away, less than 50 days away. I'd like to thank SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps, as well as Spotify now. What you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard, hit that subscribe button. That way you can know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Wednesday. And also by subscribing, you'll know every time a new episode comes your way if we do any special ones. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube, and the links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. Also on our Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we also share a lot of the great tweets within the wrestling world. You can follow Matt on the Twitter at Raw of Showtime. Follow Darryl on the Twitter at NoOneLikeD. Follow myself on the Twitter at JB Huskers. And before we ride off into the sunset, Matt, what are your final thoughts?
It was overall good week at WWE TV. Hope they keep it up going into the road to WrestleMania. Hope they continue to listen. Hoping they continue to adjust because the clock's ticking on their company right now. Not in terms of being around, but in terms of another alternative about to enter the battlefield. And if you continue to not give the fans what they want, they will find a place that does. So my best advice to WWE is this year is the year to listen to the fans more than ever. If this is what you're claiming that you're going to do, back it up with some action and, give the fans what they want.
One quick follow-up question to that. Is this NXT stuff this week a response to AEW?
Yes.
That's all I need to know. For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning into Lost the Midcard. We will catch you next week.